Matt, you guys are coming off of an eventful few weeks. You had a chance to take a break psychologically, emotionally for the holidays as a team, and then come back and play two really tough teams over the New Year's weekend down in Las Vegas. But go back and talk a little bit about the importance of taking some time away mid-season and what that means for the guys, what that means for the coaching staff, and how that benefits you.
Well, I think it's important in two ways. First and foremost, to be able to be with family over the Christmas holidays and enjoy that with them and have some downtime just away from the grind of practicing games is always healthy. I think it's good for our bodies, to be able to kind of refuel and regenerate as you get ready for the home stretch of the season. From that standpoint, it was great to be able to just get refreshed, really enjoy that opportunity with our families, and then as we turn our attention to the 2019 calendar, really get prepared for conference play. And I thought our two games down in Las Vegas against Johns Hopkins and Emory and Henry were as good opponents as you could face heading into conference play. So it was a great experience for our guys.
Talk about our performance during those two games. And the first game, a nail-biter, trailing much of the second half, had to make some big plays down the stretch. And then Emory and Henry get a lead, play with the lead the entire game, but never really separate against a good team.
Yeah, coming off of 10 days between games and 7 days without practicing, you're always concerned as a coach. How do we get back into our rhythm? And I thought, we were really chugging along, especially offensively in those few games before the holiday break, and playing a team as good as Johns Hopkins, especially on the defensive end. We just knew going into it, it was not going to be like those previous games. And so really the test was, could our guys get the game won on the defensive end of the floor? Could they overcome the adversity that the good defense that Hopkins was able to play provided, both mentally and then just in the course of the game. And I thought our guys did a really good job of just hanging together. You didn't have a chance to shoot in the arena prior to the game. Some things like that can help you get into a flow. You see a ball go in early in the game, and so it was just one of those games you had to grind out, kind of win ugly. Down the stretch there, I thought we had an opportunity to tie the game under a minute to go. We turned it over. So we're down 3 with 45 seconds to go, and to be able to come out of that timeout with the resiliency that we showed on the defensive end for Jordan Lester to create a turnover and create another opportunity for us with Ben College streaking down the floor was just a phenomenal play by Jordan and Ben hitting the shot, and then again to kind of tighten the screws defensively on the last possession, get another stop, and then be able to attack in transition and finish the way Jordan did to end that game was certainly an exciting finish. Saturday's game against Emory and Henry, I thought our offensive flow was much better. We got into a rhythm early and built a lead, and then we had to protect that lead. And Emory and Henry is a very good team, and you could see that game kind of ebb and flow as it went along, and so. I thought it was a really good test for our guys to, face some pressure, some press, to play a team with their back against the wall was very good. So, two very different types of games in the way that they played out, but both kind of, reminiscent of what you see in the NCAA tournament.
Now I turn your attention back to Northwest Conference play, beginning with the game at Lewis and Clark on Friday night. You just traveled a couple of days ago, holiday, home now, but just a quick turnaround. Have you been prepping for this game maybe longer than normal in anticipation of this quick turnaround?
Yeah. Our coaching staff does a great job of being prepared and having the scouting reports, the video ready to go, so we can turn our attention quickly to the next opponent. It's always kind of tricky at this time of year because you want to continue to grow on your own, and you don't want to focus too much on your opponent, but at the same token, you've got to be prepared. And playing a team for the first time on the road, conference opener for 2019, we know Lewis and Clark is going to be ready and excited, as most opponents are when we come into their building. So it's imperative for us to get off to a good start defensively and really set the tone for how we want to play in conference.
What do we expect to see against the Pioneers?
Well, they've got a really good shooter in Kyle Owens who's, can spread the floor. They've always played very aggressive and confidently, especially at home. So that's why, again, as I mentioned, it's important to get off to a good start to keep their confidence down and hopefully not allow them to be in a position down the home stretch to make plays with confidence at their back.